Hi everyone, and welcome to this further interview. Today we have the chance to welcome Susana with us, the founder of Ai Boddie, and we have Nino as well with us, our marketing intern. I am very pleased to be able to interview you, Susana, with Nino here present, and we will directly jump into the subject. Ai Boddie, it's a tool that I discovered recently and that really amazed me and got to my curiosity. It's your project that is with the aim to give back the power to the internet user over the control of their data. So this is really something that I look forward to learn more about it and to hear from you how this idea came to you and to learn a little bit about you. So it would be nice if you can introduce yourself a little and tell us about you and what inspired you to create that product.
Hi, good morning, Lore and Nino. Thank you for having me in this podcast. Well, very briefly, I'm Susana. I was born in Mexico, where I study biology. It's quite biology scientist. So science is my alma mater in that case. And fortunately, it was possible for me to live and travel abroad and like in 3 different countries. And that probably makes me to discover my entrepreneurial skill. In that part, it says like being an entrepreneur, it's a skill that you need to develop, and among so many other skills inside that you need to develop. And of course, in different ecosystems, because it's 3 different countries, plus my behind that I've been also doing business and mostly in tech in that part. It makes me to bring to Brussels. I don't know why, but Brussels always has been like life brings me back here and to restart always in a good way. Here in Brussels, I have been with the opportunity. I had the opportunity to start with the Startup Euronews, that it was a media platform company around tech. Then also working for a Beyond program that is in tech scale-ups, like scale-ups go global, this ambition. And I remember in that part, when I was working there, it was the first thing like, oh, I want to be here. When I was working there, there were only men in that part. And it's not about fighting men and women, not at all, but you can see that the numbers of women entrepreneurs in tech, it's lower than
very small.
Yes. So in that part, I said like, wow, I want to be here. One day I will be part of this program, right? To go global. After that, I was able to go to work. I was to work for a 3D body technology company. And it's when I think that my life changed from there completely. First of all, because I fall in love at first sight from the tech, from this 3D body technology. And I wanted, when you want something to know everything about it. I was like, remember to be a lot with the research team, like Herna, Staram, Peng, Quentin. They were really smart guys from the BUB. And they showed me how it was like behind in the back end, how it was make it. On the other side, I was always in charge because it's a startup. And when you're in a startup, you need to make not one task or not like a definite, you become multitask. And also was part of the market research. So I was able to see the challenge of this type of technologies that for going to the market, if the market is the right one, and also what are the challenge from this type of technologies. So it was very, I think that the point that I was learning a lot from this, because fortunately I was in charge of the machine learning, like the experience. And that helped me a lot to not only to learn how the machines work, but also the importance of the peoples to cover the doubts or the questions that the people have about this type of technology. Let me explain you that this technology, it is it gives you 272 body measurements, yeah, with a precision of 0.1 millimeter. Is extremely powerful in 1 second, yes, without getting undressed. So this type of technologies comes to help in the fashion industry. That was their market segmentation. That were in the overproduction, also for buying online, etc. Because when you do the market research about fashion, you really want to say, I was saying, like, I want to go snake because it was terrible, all the environment damage. And as a biologist, it was of my concern. So in that part, it's when I was I said, like, let's do something. And it comes COVID. And after COVID is when I say I want to go further. So I take the class with about AI big data analytics by the MIT. And it helped me a lot to really learn how the AI works. What do you really need? Like, because we are growing in exponentially in data to create in the AI. So I took it, and it's when I start doing AI Boddie in my own house, in my own office. And it was a good experience in that part. So
And
that's,
you had this idea of Ai Boddie following that classes, following those classes, right?
following these classes, these classes gave me the scientific background,
Okay.
how to make it, but also a lot of you need to have creativity. So you need to have the creativity and to say, like, I want to do this, but then how do you do it? And if it's possible to do it. Yeah, because
So you need creativity and the understanding of the technology.
yeah, you need
With
to have
both.
both,
Yeah.
both to really bring to society something smart, if I can say, and
Yes.
with impact. How we
Indeed.
make it. Yes, because there's a lot of platforms creating nowadays. There's a lot of technologies outside, but we need something that really will make society move forward. Yeah.
Indeed.
So
Indeed.
it took me long, but little by little. It's a long-term vision, indeed. So yes.
So you were mentioning the necessity to understand how technology works, and we were wondering, like, how blockchain, decentralization, and AI is integrated in your project. If you could explain it in simple terms.
Well, in simple terms.
Please.
Well, let me tell you that there was one question from you about Jose, what will be the most difficult part for companies? I say simple terms, make it simple is the most challenging thing. It's one of the most challenging things. So
I can help if you want.
see, I will need your help. Okay,
Yes.
in simple term, if you take a pod, yeah, if we are going in the backend, okay, I will explain you when you give me the opportunity. I will explain you how AI Boddie works. But if it's taking about Web3 and blockchain, etc., it's if you have this plugin, AI Boddie, it starts with a plugin for the cookie banners, automation, and behind that, yeah, it is connected with the pod. So we can start decentralizing data from the big platforms to data, decentralizes data for Europe. So we can start having data here. So from this, we can, well, decentralization can happen. So we start small. If you tell me, like, how AI Boddie works in this context, is like, okay, I was going to ask you, Lore and Nino, what is the most repetitive and simple action that you do every single time when you go on surfing on the internet. So it is
that we accept
yes.
or decline cookies.
Yeah, exactly. Accept and rejecting and managing cookies.
This
And
is a solution that you will bring with Ai Boddie, right?
yes. And also furthermore, because let me explain you something. I will try to make it brief. When you do the first thing is accepting managing cookies. Yeah. Although it's very annoying, yeah, we know like every single time, it is necessary. Why? Because it raised the awareness about the potential vulnerability that you will have as an internet user on the when our data is misused behind on the other side of the screen. You never know by accepting these cookies, right? So that's why in Europe, well, all the legal part, it comes to these cookie banners, etc. So there's a division of the population, like imagine the 50% says, I don't care, yeah, but they already know everything, I just accept and I just want to read it. Yeah, that's an answer, yeah, and also that's a market. And the other, but don't forget that we have the other 50% that they are, if you zoom in, see, there are two ecosystems. That is the ones that manage cookies and the ones that reject all cookies. That even the ones that reject all cookies or want to reject all cookies, sometimes they jump to manage cookies, to reject all, yes? So if you analyze these two sectors, in one, the reject cookies, probably they want the automation to say, yeah, you already say, I don't want them, yeah? And it's valid. The other ones that manage cookies, probably they do it for own benefit or for extra benefit, because they will say, okay, I don't want the third-party vendors cookies, but I want marketing access. And it is this dilemma. So if you merge these two, or if you find the similarities between these two ecosystems, is the centralization of decisions.
Yes.
To say, okay, I want to manage cookies, see, and disable third parties, for example. And this cookie management automation and disabling, that is Ai Boddie plugin that helps you in this situation to move forward. And this way of saying, okay, it's like unplugging and plugging again the connection and trust between the brands, for example, in retail, and the users. Of course, this new trust of communication, this exchange of data, it helps to clean data, to trustable clean data be exchanged, that reduce the data burden that we are creating, the duplication. And also this will be secure by this personal online data. Why we do it like this? Because we believe that the feeling of control is necessary. We need to control and probably not taking like ownership, because data that is just set up or like a pond, like just there, it will not be worthy unless you flow it. Yeah. And this flow, it will go, thank you, running and through IoT's expression. We go from digital to experience. That is AI. Digital to experience, and this experience will be helped or running by IoTs, for example. And these IoTs, it needs infrastructure, also hardware and software. And if you go deeper, how hardware and software running on 5G, 6G network, that is the best for computing power. And with this, you go even smaller, yeah, into the chip. It will be running by the European manufactured chip when you are going to exchange. So your consent and your personal preference will be safe, will be yours. and we'll be deploying the new IoTs ecosystem.
And so you mean that because you spoke about the flow of data in between IoTs, and this you mean that the internet user, the end user, will be able to control which data is going to flow, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay.
Now,
And
Mhm.
yeah. And of what I understood, the plugin, it's a product for the end user that is easy to use to schedule and program their own preference of which data once they want to use with the different connected things,
Yes.
connected products and object IoTs.
Yes, because IoTs will create more data, will be another type of data. So at the end, the same problem that we are having with the cookies, banner, the digital, it will be created in the IoTs also.
Even bigger, yes. Okay,
Even bigger.
okay.
So it's the same format. This will be at the end the same problem.
And so you set your preference before you get asked every time something like this. It's set for the entire digital experience, right?
Yes. You can once time configure your cookie preference. You can also manage, because you don't know to what brand you exchange. No.
Yes.
Have the traceability of the brand, for example, and you can, for example, in the retail, yeah, and also you can change the managed cookies. You don't. When you just use the cookie banner, you don't have to going back. How do you go back and say like, hey, I don't want this? See, so for this plugin you can do it, and you can just let it run.
Okay. And does it have an impact on the end user if he refuses cookies or whatever? Does it impact his own experience?
Probably there's here. That's why we try to flow this data. So, for example, when you close the door to these cookies, see, some, for example, mostly the marketing sector is getting affected, because they say they cannot trace you, they cannot know about you.
Yes, indeed.
But why we need to do the steps longer instead of asking you? Say, if I say, Laura, you have a beautiful blouse, yeah, that is like nude color. What, instead of asking you about do you like the nude color? Yes or no? I will go and ask to Nino, how many times have you seen Lore going to the store and checking the colors? Have you checked the colors? Yes. Do you remember what color it is? Yeah. So it's like layers and layers of digital. And remember that the internet is not for free. There's raw materials behind that. There is energy. So let's use the spaces in a better way.
It's interesting what you say, that it's also optimizing the number of data we are creating by controlling which data we create by giving them to the flow, by creating them, adding them to the flow. It's really interesting that it also has an environmental impact. And that we can reduce that by controlling what we create as of personal data. I would like to ask still many questions, but that's very interesting already to know about the product itself. Nino, do you have another question for Susana?
Yeah, maybe one last question about women's involvement in tech industry, because you're mentioning that there is like a very like low number of women in tech. So I was wondering, like, as a female founder, like for you, like what advice you could offer to women who are taking the first steps in their journey, and also like in general, like what it's like to be a woman in tech.
Well, I will give you the context about where am I in this. My team is the core team. Normally I try to surround with people that knows and have more experience than me. And in this case, I have been in contact in technology more with men, right? So the core team is men, are men, but I'm the boss. And if you see me in life, I'm very tiny in this. And they are very tall. They are huge and tall. So. And it's funny because when they speak about the family, they are the ones that say, I can't because I have my kids, or oh, I like doing like how say what I probably should be talking about, or what in society I should be talking about, like kids, husband, etc. Well, I don't have nothing about that, so it's funny to talk in give sharing orders or like prioritize the task. Plus, the team, the IT teams are also men, are 5 men, very nice people, amazing people. Yeah, so fortunately or unfortunately, I would say more unfortunately, I'm the only one. So at least we have women like pushing their open the space. It's not easy because it's deep tech. It's well, first of all, business, you know, that is mostly with men, men environment. And if you go in deep tech, it's even more, so you see the very low number of women. I'm trying to find more women in tech, in deep tech. And of course, you have, for example, my colleague, the co-founder, he's a very good, he has an extraordinary background, experience, corporate, like global, etc. And it's funny because when we go to meetings, it's totally the contrast. Yeah. So he's this Flemish tall guy, blue eyes, like white like this, and with this background, like you say, like, oh. And then you see me, like this Mexican girl, like tiny, and then like say like talking about tech and love it. So sometimes they see me, oh, you're the CTO, or you're like, even sometimes they tell me like the training, and I say like, ah, I can be tiny, but also I can be spicy. And I say like, momento, this is wrong. So I need to open my position, to fight for my position and give it clear in a very we'll say a very educated way, but it's something that you will need to do. Never let somebody to make it less in that part, because for sure they will think that the one that who knows more is probably men. It's not about fighting, no, here about man, woman, who is better. No, but it's curious how the mind of the people, the mindset it is like they give, if my colleague say it is blue, yeah, and although it is not blue, but for them, he say it, he has more trust than when I say like, no, it's white. Yeah, you need to give more background. It takes triple effort, yeah, to do it. But that's the power of us, that we have a lot of power behind. I think that you need to really, there's one thing, institutions need to be more open and to believe and trust that we can make it, that we are not only for just the house or just for, how say, minimal products. No, we can do good products. And if Europe want to be in the race of AI, they need to trust in the women sector that is developing, see, this type of technologies. And the other is that we be self-confident, yeah, continue to go for it, go for a network. We are good in networking. We are good in helping each other. See, today, I met you, Lore, in an event. Yes. And for me, it was like, whoa, this woman, Lore, like I want to talk to her because she was very, Jose, with a lot of power and this passion about blockchain that you were talking about, and your endeavor about how to meet more women. So it's like, this is a person that I want to know, and this is a skill that we have. Yes, that we can connect good with the people. So it's using who in what you are good. That, of course, men can be mean. I have a lot of emails, message that saying about like, I don't believe that a woman can drive a company. I have them. So I feel like, oh, one day I will publish all of them. It's, saying that, no, but I thought that Nicola was going to drive the company. I don't believe can make it. Other ones that a woman can how say, can diminish and can how say, destroy a company because they have emotions.
Because we are sensitive.
Emotions, I say, oh, like, okay, this is not about emotions. Yeah, this is about professionality, what we want.
Indeed.
And like this, yeah. And
so you still have to prove your added value as a woman in a leadership role. This is incredible. And even more in tech when it's surrounded by all male. Well, you're doing great, and thank you for being an ambassador and driving Ai Boddie further with your emotion and with your skills and with everything you are. That's, I think, the most important to drive a business. And I just wanted to ask you, as well as a closing question, if you have any, how do you say, project or partnership or things you would like to share about Ai Boddie for the future, if you would like to share like something new coming or an announcement or something with us.
Well, 2024, you will be downloading the plugin.
Amazing.
And
Congrats.
it's
Okay.
the beginning of this, I'll say, this journey for everybody as an end user and also as the companies, because that will help European companies to start having this connection, this reconnection with the end users, new network, new techs coming up. We will guide, we will help, and we will try to make it secure and easy to use, because believe me, for the Web3 technologies, there's make it simple is one challenge, and the adoption of the technologies are the other two challenges. And we will help. We want to grow the Web3 here, and I think it will be the future of the part of the future of the internet.
Indeed. Let's close on that one. We are part of the future. Well, thank you very much, Susana, for this very interesting interview and your insights about your path with Ai Boddie and how you arrived there. I was very interested in knowing that. And I thank you, Nino, as well, for joining the call and helping us to do this interview. Thank you very much to both of you.
Thank you.
Thanks to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.